Dear listener, ClockTower is intended for mature audiences and might be inappropriate or possibly triggering to some. Many of the themes and events in ClockTower are inspired by weird fiction as well as similar concepts, which means the show can get dark. If that isn't something you enjoy, please listen at your own discretion. We here at the ClockTower care about you, so please put your mental health first. Our show will be here when you're ready.
Welcome to Season 2 of ClockTower, a D&D 5e experience. To all our old and new listeners, we're excited to have you here with us. ClockTower is a D&D campaign turned audio drama, played with a custom class and a few house rules that we as a group collectively enjoy. If you find yourself getting a little lost, there's always older episodes to guide you back to the path. With all that said, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and welcome to the ClockTower. As all of you stand together, looking at the wardrobe that Barrett has just pulled away from the wall and revealed the door once again, it says in big, scratched in red letters, "You must never open this door." And never is the only word that is underlined in that scrawling text. What do you guys do?
Okay, so kicks the door open.
So much for teaching him how to read.
Do you actually you full on kick the door in, not open it out?
No, he opens it out. But he kicks it and then he opens the door.
You open the door and you guys see the crushing darkness that is like a wall in front of the open door.
So, Trinket, if you don't mind.
Yeah. I'll
Right
lead the way
friend to
into the
us.
room with the lantern.
Okay. Are you all following Trinket in?
Yeah, Sam's sticking pretty close.
Okay.
Jaeger's trying to stay within the light of the lantern itself.
You know that shit Jaeger was doing that last episode?
Mm-hmm.
He's just like, whew, yeah. Yeah, that's what Barrett's doing right now. As low-key as possible. Just a little hype up.
Barrett's trying to psych himself up. Okay. You guys can kind of see the range of the lantern feels like a 15-foot radius from Trinket. This is pretty big of being able to be within the light of the lantern. And as you go into the room, it does not take long for the lantern to pretty much illuminate the entire room, which is just, you know how some attics, you can see the slant of the roof itself of a building and it goes down to where it meets the attic floor? That's kind of what this room is. It's full height where you enter the door, it goes about 2 feet above the door frame, and then it's a steep angle all the way down to the back of the room, and about 4 feet before it meets that very corner of the triangle that the roof and the ground makes is a square, looks like a hatch, like a basement hatch. And it's just got a little iron pull ring that looks like you can grab it and lift it up. It doesn't seem to be locked at all. It's just a hatch.
Sam's gonna make their way over to this hatch and kind of touch almost like touching a hot stove. Mm-hmm. The iron ring, is it gonna kill me? No? Okay, so grab it and just wait until everyone else is ready.
You look back at everybody else?
Yeah.
You can see as you look back at everybody else, everyone's standing there. You're all how close are Jaeger and Barrett standing to Trinket?
Very.
About 10 feet out. He's at the hatch waiting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Barrett, you're standing almost shoulder touching Trinket.
Yeah, absolutely. Like a plank, walking plank.
Okay.
Just.
And you see in the corners of the room where your guys' own shadows are casting shadows in the room, it looks like that malicious presence that are in the corners of all of this rooms, that violent chaos are just waiting, roiling in the background. Any shadow in this room is just with malicious intent.
You want me to pull this thing open?
Yeah, that's what we're here for, right? Yeah.
All right.
Let's do it.
Sam, gets a better stance, grabs it, and goes, and tries to lift up this hatch.
You lift it up, and it's so much lighter than you think it should be, and it slams open, and it's got a little like rope tied to it so that when you open it, it can't slam completely on the other side, so that its like resting state is just a little pass straight up, so that its own weight is keeping it open, but it's still kind of up. And you see that the hatch, first of all, goes down into more darkness, and looks like there are rungs of a ladder that go down. You're not sure how long they go down. They look like they're old weathered wood, same as everything else in here. And on the inside of the hatch that you've now lifted up and you're now all looking at, there are these scraps of paper that look like they've been ripped out of books. And like sort of a madman's like collage, they seem to be like posted in rough, like in a paragraph, almost like they're glued onto the hatch. And like some of them are peeling off, and they all seem from like different books. But for some reason, a lot of the pages in different parts of them look all very familiar to you guys.
Could I make a history check?
Yeah.
21.
Some of the pages remind you of the paper and the like, the font and the structure of some of the different like sentences and paragraphs that are ripped out of it seem like they're from a book that you read a really long time ago on your way through the clock tower for the very first time.
Huh.
Are you gonna lean in and read what it says, Jaeger?
Yeah.
You like stare and puzzle it out in the light. It's kind of hard to read because the light is like, you kind of want Trinket to bring the light closer.
Trinket, do you mind sitting like on this side right here?
Yeah, I'll move over to the area as directed.
You bump into Barrett.
Sorry.
No.
And as Trinket moves forward, does Barrett also continue to move forward?
Yes.
Like sit right to her ass?
Yes.
Okay. As Jaeger, you piece the sort of weird collage out, and it says, "In the middle journey of my life, I came to myself in what seemed like a deep well, down, down, down to a dark wood. Would the fall never come to an end? Surely I would die. But that is not dead which can curious dream, and with strange stars are not what they seem. Behind every eternal thing that existed, there was something tragic, where the direct way was lost. Abandon all hope, ye who click on the pocket watch."
Huh. Hey, I'm not going to say it feels ominous, because everything feels ominous here.
Sam,
However,
leans over your shoulder and like immediately writes that down in their notebook. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, dude. Keep
Spitting it 100%.
all right. Well, as much as it says abandon all hope ye here, I'm going to keep mine because we got shit to do. So
I think it's just a turn of phrase.
maybe, but I'm just going to keep my hope in general.
Also, as Trinket moves the light closer, you guys can see down into the hatch, and the light stretches at least 15 feet and then like another 30 feet of like dim light that doesn't give you the properties of the lantern. So that makes for like what, a total of 45 feet that you can see. You should be able to see down. Nope.
All right.
The ladder stretches well past that.
So Trinket,
It's very deep.
maybe I'll go first, and then you go after me, and then they can come after you. That way we can all stay within the light of the lamp.
I think that'll work.
Just don't go too fast.
Yep, I plan to be very close.
Well, I feel like Trinket should probably go last and shine it down the ladder while we all get on, and then they get on last, right?
Well, it is a radius. So if Trinket is in the middle,
I know, but
all
there's the
safer.
square hole, and it'll only shine straight down. I mean, I guess I don't know if there's no shadow people below. I guess there's nothing to worry about.
That's what I was worried about myself, actually. So my thought was, if I go down, and then Trinket goes down, you guys are still within the radius. And then you go down, boom.
Yeah, the only
I
thing
see what Barrett's talking about is that
Yeah.
Trinket goes down before you
it's
guys
just
go down.
a column of light
and
above
the light's
ladder.
gonna disappear through
That's
the hatch,
true. Good
and
point.
you guys are gonna be fucked.
You know what? Good point.
Well, no, you should be really.
Two of us go down, and then
Yeah.
Trinket in the last.
See, you guys just like two of you hang off the side of the ladder and let Trinket pass you while you're all below the threshold of the hatch.
Yep.
essentially.
We go down in such a way where we never exit the light. Is that...
I love that statement. Everybody roll a dexterity save with advantage.
A natural 20.
Nice.
13.
16.
12.
Barrett, you almost fall. You your foot slips and you actually do fall like 2 feet, and then your hands grab the rung of the ladder, and you kind of kick Trinket in the shoulder. Like, not hard, but just of like where you, Trinket, with like one hand holding the lantern out, and you're like going very carefully down the ladder, right? Like one hand down, put your like elbow on the ladder rung, grab the next ladder rung, just like making your way down, and then Barrett like and like grabs on and like kicks your shoulder, and you're just like, oh my god, and everybody freezes for a second, just like, huh?
I'm good. You're good.
Yep.
We're good.
What's to the left and right of us? Nothing.
Just like black and open, like bigger than it should be. Just like
cavern.
Just like a ladder, and there's not like a wall behind the ladder either. It's just like a ladder going into the void, basically.
Huh. You know, I feel like if you dropped anything here, it's just gone.
Clenches the ladder. Aren't I supposed to see a fucking pocket watch fixer or something here?
No, I was above.
It's up.
It's up.
We've never been down before.
Never been down. Down's new.
Just go. Go.
What was climbing though? Oh no. Sorry, never mind.
It's a
I love that you guys are having this conversation, hanging off of rungs of the ladder, like making your way slowly down. And it is like, I will say, you know how you get that unnerving feeling, whether you're afraid of heights or not, when you are on a cliff's edge and there's just nothing around you and you know there's nothing to catch your fall? That's what it feels like going down this ladder, because there's just nothing around you, and there's not even like wind, but you know how like you don't see a fucking ground, and it's too dark. So you're just going down a ladder in the middle of nothing with a void all around you. And as you guys keep making your way down the ladder, it goes on for a painfully long time. And as it keeps going down and down, the ladder gets progressively rougher and more fucked up. The rungs get further spaced apart, more uneven. They start to feel it's no longer this polished wood that feels like a bunch of people have gone down it. It starts feeling like these like really rough, splintery wood. And as it continues going down further, you feel less and less like you're climbing down a ladder, and more like you're climbing down the branches of a tree. Just deeper and deeper, and it starts to be way harder to get down the ladder. As
we continue down, the Jaeger's gonna be like, wait a second, pause. Everyone, put your legs through the rungs and sit down for a second and take a break.
Okay.
Just so we can all like fucking make sure that our arms aren't gonna like tense up and we're like able to fucking like continue. Just give it like 2-3 minutes just of just like stopping for a second.
I'd say where you end up stopping, it's still kind of a ladder, but the like left hand main part of the ladder, the like upright part of the ladder, is way thicker. It's like gnarled and changed, like their branches growing up into the shape of a ladder. Right now it feels like if you guys had a tree that grew into the shape of a ladder and the trunk was on the left, that's what you guys are like sitting in right now.
Well, this is pretty cool though, honestly.
It honestly gives me kind of like a cool vibe, but like I can't see the tree, so I kind of worry about it a bit more. But
you can't see the ground still.
Tree means ground. Tree means ground. Tree means there's a ground. There's a ground.
You know, funny enough, I think some of the trees in Duran were bigger than this, so I'm not really worried.
Hey, Trinket, can you roll a Constitution save for me?
14.
Your arm hurts so bad holding, like, because you can't put the lantern on your belt, so you're just like holding the lantern down the entire time you've been going downstairs, and that lantern feels very heavy right now, like so heavy.
Well, I'm just gonna have to switch arms.
Are you gonna set the lantern down at all, or are you gonna just like keep holding it?
I think I kind of have to keep holding it.
Okay.
Sam, like, with one hand grabs their wand, just kind of like throws a set of dancing lights out into the darkness. Do they stay or do they eat?
As soon as your dancing lights leave the range of the lantern, they get consumed by the shadows.
Yeah, that tracks.
Yep. So we keep going. It's all good.
They actually get weird, like, since it's a light, it has a really weird reaction where it feels like the light goes past the radius of the lantern, and then it starts like spiraling out, like tendrils of light are getting like split apart by a bunch of different like directions until it like kind of goes like and like glitches, like it doesn't know how to exist anymore, and then she's like and blinks out of existence, and you're like, that was uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah.
Okay. He's gonna shake off one arm, shake off the other arm. Let's go.
And because you guys took a break, you get advantage on this dexterity
Yay.
save.
Woo!
Before that, Sam had one last thing. Pokes Trinket in the foot with her wand and goes, "You got this. We're all relying on you," and gives you guidance.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Not 20. Let's fucking go.
17.
5.
5 with advantage.
Clock Tower dice are your friend.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be using those clock tower coins anywhere else anymore anytime soon. So 6.
Added to it, so it's
Yep.
an 11.
Yes.
Plus 4. 10.
So that's
15.
15.
Okay. What did everybody else get?
I got 19.
17.
Not 20.
In that case, I am going to describe this as follows. You all start making your way down. It is getting progressively harder and harder because the rungs have gotten so stretched out that you literally there's no ladder anymore. You are climbing down the branches of a tree. They are, some of them, much easier to get because some of the branches are really close together. Other ones don't feel like they'd support your weight as you slowly make your way down, trying to keep the same distance around Trinket and not fall out of the light of the lantern. And then, Barrett, as you're going down, one of the branches that you had been supporting on yourself, you feel just snap, and you feel yourself fall away from the ladder, and you, with years of experience, reach out with one of your axes and like manage to twist yourself so that you're falling not like head first, but closer so that you can try and grab onto something. And you try to grab yourself with the axe, but it just breaks another branch. And then finally you're like, oh, this is it. I'm done. It's over. And you, as you're reaching out to try and grab the branch, grab anything, you feel yourself grab Jaeger's arm as Jaeger's arm grabs onto yours, and he's just holding you up, one hand on a fucking thick branch, his arm wrapped around it, and holding onto you.
Hey, I got you. Don't worry. It's okay. Fine footing. It's fine.
Footing?
We're good. We're good. We just gotta find a spot.
Oh, that was a close one. Okay.
It's okay. It's fine.
Whew.
Hey, we're all here.
Yeah, but I want to be there, wherever the ground is.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna try to make sure I put him down toward where the actual branches are, so he can get a decent.
Barrett gets his footing a little bit firm, but like Tricky, you just saw Barrett like fall past you, almost hit you on the way down. You're just like,
We all good?
Yep, I got him.
I am alive.
All right.
Well, if you need me to, Barrett, I can cast Levitate on you.
What?
Then I can just be a balloon. I can just float you down. You can stay right next to Trinket the whole time.
No, I got this. I'm okay. I got you guys.
Okay, yeah, I mean,
Hell yeah.
Just get the fuck down here.
and you guys keep making your way
Let's go.
down this tree. And as you do, Barrett and Jaeger, you guys are the first ones to see that there's kind of a drop. There's no more branches to grab. And it's about a 7-foot drop down to like what looks like a overgrown grassy forest floor.
Hey guys, this is the end of the line, looks like. So
7 feet down.
let's get Trinket down to about here, and then we can, one of us can kind of hop off.
And as you're looking around, you see that like spaced out pretty far, you do see the silhouettes at the edges of Trinket's light of like other trees growing like straight up.
well, is there a way to get back up from here?
No. Unless you guys can, I mean, it's a 7 foot up back to the branches. So like, maybe Sam could like levitate everybody one by one.
My only concern is, how do we get back up?
I mean, we could just climb the tree, to be fair.
Okay, I mean, does it lead back to here? Can we just follow the branch down, or is this the only way down?
I think this is it.
It's also like eerily quiet here. All you can hear is the ticking of your pocket watches, just spinning in different directions and at different speeds. Just the way that they do when they don't have a mission set yet.
It also looks like there's a ton of other trees around here. How can we make sure we have the right one? when we come back.
I'm thinking.
Are we still in the clock tower? Can we even make a mark that'll stay?
Let's check and see. And Jaeger's gonna let go and drop down.
Roll a dexterity save.
14.
Yeah, you just land. You feel the crunch of dead leaves and grass beneath your feet.
He's gonna stop and he's gonna stay within the light of the lamp, but he's gonna like move to the side so if someone else wants to drop down, they can do so as well.
Okay.
I'm gonna jump down.
Okay.
Yeah. 16.
Barrett drops onto the floor, and finally, Barrett, solid ground beneath your feet again. And you almost forget about the weird, malicious intent from the shadows all around you.
Sam like peers down. It's kind of high.
I'll catch you.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. I'm going. Sam like drops and like crosses their arms over their chest.
Make an athletics check, Barrett.
Yay. 13.
Nah, you catch Sam.
Ugh. Thanks.
Yep. Puts down. And
All right, Trunky, don't break the lantern.
Right,
Please.
we're gonna hop down.
Okay.
10.
You land, and you do like not land on your feet. You kind of like hit the ground in a kind of like a heap of just like. But luckily, the lantern, you don't like let go of it or anything, and the light that you guys are within is still shining, and nobody gets eaten by shadows, so it seems fine.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like when you're trying to like not spill something and you fall and you're just like holding that one thing up. You're like, it's good. We're good. Got it. I heard.
Okay.
All right. So let's try to. Can you both have access? Can you somehow make just a ring around this tree somehow?
here, as I just go to do fucking X on the trunk.
You cut an X into the trunk, and you just see this sap that looks like starlight seep out of the tree where you've cut it, and it's got like it makes it look like a glowing white X that's like bleeding in the tree.
Well, that's really cool.
It looks great, but one sec. Everyone look away from it and then look back.
Everyone does.
Everyone does.
It's still there.
Hey. Okay.
I really hope you haven't just like permanently injured our clock tower.
Oh.
See, those are the kind of questions I'm constantly asking, and here we are.
Here we are.
I'd like get a little bit of the sap on like at least reach into my pocket and pull out something useful with this situation to collect sap in.
Roll for it. Just a standard roll.
1.
How bad is it?
1.
How bad is it?
16.
Sam like reaches in their pocket, their hand like goes kind of deep, and then they go, "Ah!" And it looks like they got like pulled inside out into their pocket.
Sam?
Huh?
Maybe there was no lantern light in his pockets.
No. I would assume there wasn't.
It seriously looked like Sam got sucked into their own pockets in like a split second.
Jaeger, that hasn't happened before, right?
Sam's pockets are very deep. I assume with the amount of space in the pocket, the shadows inside count toward those outside, that he points toward the shadows outside the lamplight. I'm not trying to freak out. I'm sure Sam's back on the couch. It's fine. It's fine.
Looks up at ladder.
The X is still here. We keep looking.
Sam! Sam! I don't know why I'm trying this.
Your voice echoes out through the dark wood that you find yourselves in now.
Probably wasn't the best idea.
And it feels like there's shit watching you down here. Like, imagine if it felt like shit was watching you in the small room that was the attic from that infinite darkness. This is worse because it feels like it's bigger and there's more things and or bigger things. Out of the corners of your vision where the shadows exist and you can't make anything out, it feels like there are massive things moving between the trees. Huge, unknowable creatures that seem to stare at you with gleaming eyes that you only see for a split second before questioning if you ever saw them at all.
You know, this feels like a small theory that I've heard before. we should keep moving while we talk.
Which way?
Well, the X is here. And we can see this. So let's back away from the X exactly and see if it still shines through the dark.
All right.
Hold on. I'm gonna put another, like, not as fucking crazy gash as I did on the first side, but I'm gonna do another strike on the back side of the tree.
As you try to walk out of the thing, I put my hand on your shoulder and say, let's follow him around.
Yeah, right. Need to like tie ourselves together.
If Sam's back on the couch, there's no way of them getting back down here.
There's not.
All right. Lead the way, Jaeger.
And Jaeger's going to walk to the first X that we have, staying in the light, and he's going to start walking directly away from that X, straight out.
As you guys make your way away from the tree, staying well within the light of Trinket's lantern, you do see when it's within the dim light, the X still kind of glows as if it was illuminated. And even when you get the X to be in complete darkness, it is illuminated, but when you move a couple more feet away, it seems to disappear faster than it should.
All right. That's what I was wondering about. Cool. All right. And then, sorry, one sec. Let's walk back that way real quick. I just wanted to be sure of something.
Okay.
I want to approach that tree again.
You walk and you approach that tree again, and as you get closer, you don't see the X on it. And you're like, is that the tree? Did we get
I'm
turned around?
very sure.
You're not, though. As you're looking,
I-
because it was
the only thing I can believe is
when
myself.
you got far enough away that the X was gone, you could already no longer see the tree itself. Like the tree trunk was just black, gone. You could see the faint amount of an X. And then you moved a couple more feet away, and the X just like kind of blinked away. And you're like, you get closer, and now like you're like, there should have been a tree right between these two trees, and now there's not. And you're like, where is the X tree? Because it should have been lined up here. And you're like almost positive that you didn't turn. But now as you're like looking around for the X tree, you're like, well, what direction was the X tree in the first place? And you're like, fuck.
Can I check the ground for like broken leaves and
They're all fucking crumped, dead leaves over
no
dead leaves
footprints
and fucking
possible?
Weeds that are like almost a foot and a half tall of just like big, heavy grass. And it feels like if you like look closer at the grass, you're like, it could be like all kinds of bugs and shit in this grass. It doesn't feel good.
there's no path of crimped grass anywhere? I mean,
You guys
my
feel
yard does that.
on multiple levels so lost.
All right. Well, now we know nothing we affect here is affected by us. So we keep moving, and we don't stop till we find something.
Just pick a direction and go.
And I turn back again, exact 180 turn, back the way I came, and start walking that way again.
As you guys go, you keep walking. You walk in a direction, and the surroundings just get to you guys.
Jaeger's gun is in his hands.
You feel like if you were walking this path, like any one of you by yourselves, you would have been like wanting to go back to the tower and desperate to get out of this fucking oppressively dark wood. It feels like it's so much of the same and so like oppressive in how just the trees stretch up into, it's not even like being in a forest where you look up and you see these trees stretch up into the night sky. They all go so high that if they are ladders at the top, like the one that you came down, you can't see that. There are trees as far up as you can see, and you can't see up that high. So it just feels like no matter what direction you guys are going, you don't know if you're like on a slight curve and circling back to wherever you were before, and there's no way to tell if you are. And so it's just like the only thing you guys have to make sure or to think that you're not just wandering aimlessly and crazy is the fact that the other two people are with you. And man, everybody roll a wisdom save against just how awful and oppressive this place is.
17.
Also 17.
21.
You guys, I feel like with that roll, you all like look at each other and you're just, do you guys just agree. You just resound in there like, we're going forward. We're not going to let this get to us. We're just going. What's the reaction between the three of you as you are going through this oppressive dark wood?
I feel like Jaeger's at the front with his gun in his hands. Just out of just him being like, look, we got to keep going. He's going to stop for a split second, like just slow down, then come to a stop. And look back at you all. And the look in his eyes is the same look he has when he's like getting ready to snipe a foe. And he just kind of looks at you and says, we're all here. Even Sam.
Just look to Trinket and nod.
Right. I have a question. So you guys have gone through the door in the past.
Yes.
And you've died there.
Yes.
And you end up back on the couch.
Yes.
So Sam's probably definitely back on the couch.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's my thoughts.
No worries then. We just gotta keep. We gotta hope we find something. Otherwise, I guess maybe we just die down here.
I wonder if these trees lead to other towers.
That would be
Oh.
weird. Just walk it. I look at the tree and is there another rung like 7 feet up again?
All the trees are varying, like the drop from where the branches start is all different, but they do stretch up way past where you can see, and the base trunk of the tree are all straight. Like, imagine being in a wood of just like obelisks of trees that just go like straight up, like redwoods, but they're not as thick around.
It's real bad.
Also, as you guys are walking, you occasionally hear strange sounds in the distance that sound like weird, like you couldn't place it. And it reminds you, Jaeger specifically, too much of when you were falling through worlds and you heard all the different sounds of the different worlds. And you saw like creatures opening their eyes and looking at you.
Yeah.
And when you stare too long into the darkness, you like feel like you can see those things looking at you. As if the darkness, when you really look at it, isn't shadow at all. It's this roiling like veil of things creating themselves as they destroy themselves. And it reminds you all of weird, distant memories of a place you crawled from a long time ago.
And he's gonna like looks out into that dark for a split second and then looks at the other and says, "We keep moving. We keep moving. We'll be fine. We'll be all right. We have to find something down here. There can't be nothing. If there's nothing, then there would be no point."
Well, let's get to it then.
And as you guys keep going, it doesn't seem to end. The feeling of things watching you, of horrible shadows being all around you, doesn't get better. You guys succeeded your last wisdom save, so I'm giving you advantage on this one. But to keep up your morale, roll and see how you do, because it is so bad down here.
17.
11.
19, but I'm gonna add a ClockTower dice to trinkets for an extra +5.
Okay, so Trinket, you would have failed, but the ClockTower dice puts you up above the threshold. So what does Trinket start doing to lose faith, and what does Jaeger do to like help her out of that?
Trinket kind of starts to walk a little slower and says, maybe we should just like sit down.
Trinket. Me stopping us before was me trying to make sure we had a break from climbing. This, and Jaeger's gonna put his hand on her shoulder. This is just a walk. It's fine. We'll be okay. Hey, we'll be okay.
All right. Let's hope we find something soon. This is weird.
It's not great, but
Just picture you went through the mirror and this is just another mission.
yeah.
Let's keep on going.
Mission: walk forward in a straight line.
Yeah.
And then, Barrett, you hear a sound that gives you so much hope that you feel like it's a trap. Because you hear a guitar being played, not badly, but not great either.
I'm gonna try and like not visibly acknowledge it.
And you hear it coming from a specific direction. And so do you two.
Oh.
Huh. Well, that's more than nothing.
I guess we got a lead. Let's head that way.
Yeah.
Check it out and see.
Let's do it.
You guys make your way towards that sound. Barry, you don't recognize the song. You are intimately familiar with someone playing guitar. And as you guys make your way further and further through the shadow, it feels like I would imagine you guys are probably picking up your pace a little bit now, having something to go towards and having that like worry in the back of your mind that it's going to stop.
It just starts humming.
That your one lead is going to disappear. And as you walk further and further, you see that there's a light in the distance. A glowing, warm, flickering light that seems to cast shadows throughout all of the other trees and makes them look more like trees and less like terrifying obelisks, as it seems to flicker and you guys realize that you're seeing a campfire really distantly.
Yeah. Jaeger starts humming along with the tune.
Okay.
And continues along.
You guys start hearing other sounds. They sound like someone laughing and the sounds of distant conversation that you can't quite make out because you're too far away, but it carries here so far through this dark wood. And like, you guys have a lot of wood to get through to get to what that distant light is, but you can see it. You can see the light through the trees.
Should we call out to them so we don't frighten if there's anybody there?
And Jaeger stops humming for a second and looks at Barrett, and he has like a bright look on his face, like not smiling, but like he looks like he has like a bit more hope than he already did. I feel like they're gonna know we're coming. Personally. Or I can start whistling. Whistling might work, but I feel like whistling in the dark might feel kind of ominous. So,
I guess we'll call out once we get close enough.
There you go. And Jaeger's gonna keep humming the tune.
Okay. As you keep humming, you guys go closer and closer to the campfire light. And as you get there, you eventually break through the woods and you're all kind of floored at the sight that you see. Because as you break through the tree line into what you assumed might be a small clearing, it's not a clearing and it's not small. You see a campfire that seems to be set up around a big fire pit with like logs and benches and different seating from all manner of different like places and times, kind of just like as if people had brought their own seats from history around a small get-together campfire. And behind that, you see the setting of what looks like a well-lit, like sort of quaint, modern mountain town that's built around a river that runs through it. Not that you can only see the silhouette of the mountains amongst what now you can see is a night sky full of tons of different stars that glimmer and change, but the sky looks all different colors, kind of like the Aurora Borealis all of the time, but the colors change in all different like shades of cool colors, and it's like the stars are being moved around like small dots floating on an ocean in the sky, and there's no big moon or anything like that. And you see that with the broad image of a campfire that is the first thing you see, and a path that leads towards like all of the like lights in windows and street lights and different, like you can see on one of the nearby buildings there's a string of like kind of fairy lights, and it just looks like one of the most picturesque, quaint towns you've ever seen. And as you look at the people who are around the campfire, there's one dude who's this like big 6'6" dude in the middle who you don't recognize. He's got like a well-trimmed beard, and he's wearing a hat that's kind of pushed back, and he's got a long coat and a guitar that he's strumming away on. And all the people around the campfire look like they're wearing a different assortment of some casual clothes. Some of them are wearing sweaters. There's like two girls sitting together that seem to be obviously a couple. There's a guy who is talking to the man playing guitar. It looks like you've come to a big sort of like community bonfire campout thing, and you realize that some of them, a good amount of them, are wearing at least some part of ClockTower garb. And then the thing that gives you pause as well is some of them have watches and some of them don't. and it's any amount of in between, and they're all standing, and we're all kind of talking, and as you guys walk out of the woods, all three of you together, the guy playing guitar stops and like looks at you and looks at everybody around the campfire, and they all kind of look at each other like they're really confirming what they're seeing, as the man sets his guitar down and goes, well, I imagine you're pretty tired. Why don't you three come in, take a seat, and welcome to Haven. Hey, it's me, Ellie again. Weirdly, this is the end of our arc Going Down. Originally, we were going to call these episodes, and the ones after, Haven, but thought it would ruin the reveal of this episode, so we called this arc Going Down, and the next one, Haven. And I just want to say, I've been getting more and more messages about how people have been enjoying the show, and really enjoying this season. So if you've reached out, I'm talking to you. Thanks. If you would like to collaborate with us, or contact us in any way, contact us through our website, ClockTowerAgent.com. Barrett was played by Bink. Sam was played by Cal. Trinket was played by Kball. Jaeger was played by Trent. And I, Ellinthris, was your DM. The voice of our disclaimer was Val Donahue. You can check out his work at patreon.com/themadlanddreamer. All music from Season 1 of Clock Tower made by Who's Music, as well as additional music for this episode. If you would like your own D&D music commissioned, contact them and find all of their work through their website, whosisthis.com, or find it in the description below. Thanks, Who's. Additional music and FX provided by Andrew Smith and Cal. Thank you to our editing team and Cal for making the episodes what they are. Thank you to our sponsor, Alpha Lupine Images, for donating the equipment to help us make more content with better quality. The Clock Tower test on our website was programmed by Mike LeMay. Thank you to everyone who supports us on Patreon, and thanks again for listening. Clock Tower Season 2, Episode 42, will be out for all of our early episode patrons on November 8th and released publicly November 15th. Till then, time's ticking. See you in the Clock Tower.